So when you do chemotherapy or radiation, it causes apoptosis, which just means I could tell a child this that was 5. It means the cell dies, right? Which is good if it's a cancer cell, or it can cause it if it's a biologic to slowly die, which is a little bit healthier sometimes. But natural supplements can do that too by supporting the healthy things in your body and your immune system. So basically, your healthy cells say to the bullies, which are the cancer cells or Lyme disease, get out. We don't want you in our body anymore. We're taking over, right? This is why pharmaceuticals, biologics, chemotherapy, whatever you want to call it, and the nutraceutical supplements and eating well and alternative therapies are so important. They're both needed for your body. And this is what I think we need to start teaching people.
Yeah. It was just kind of a common sense approach for me where I was like, okay, if we're going to do all this bad, how do we counteract it with some good? I didn't do it during like radiation period or so that things didn't interact poorly. So I was very careful. And I know chemo only lasts 24 hours in the system. So I'd wait 24 hours before we would do a high dose vitamin C drip, let's say. But I did find it to be really valuable. And it's cool to hear that that's something that you agree with.
Yeah.
So with the Lyme, for people who have dealt with Lyme or dealing with Lyme, I guess, is it always in our bodies?
So doctors disagree on this fact. I believe it's like cancer. It's like once you get rid of cancer, and not to scare people, but you still have these cells that can talk. They have a memory, right? It's kind of like you remember who you dated when you were 18. It doesn't mean he's in your life, right? But if it was a traumatic experience, it can cause issues like with stress, right? It's like anything. So cancer cells, they're hiding, right? Once they're in your body, you continuously have to make sure that it's not coming back. Remission does not mean it's gone, right? It means that you're at a holding pattern and your body's healthier. That gives you the opportunity to really build up the healthy cells. So hopefully it never comes back, right? Or if it does it, you can get rid of it, really quickly. So your goal has to be with Lyme's disease to understand this is a virus. And again, like Epstein-Barr or other viruses, there's remnants of that in your body. Some of that's not negative, because when you get a virus, it can help you not get a worse virus, right? With Lyme disease, I think it's a combination, like I said, of a virus and kind of a parasitic fungal attachment. And because doctors are disagreeing on that, they have different theories. I believe it can be sexually transmitted. I believe if it's active, just like herpes or like HIV. I believe there's different versions. I know there's different versions of Lyme disease. That's why people have different reactions. And I do think the spiral sheets hide in the brain and they shed. And in your lymphatic system. So I think you have to continuously detox and then support the system. So again, it's stronger and those die off. That's my personal belief. It doesn't scare me because for me, I'm like you. I'm trying to heal my body. I believe the same thing. I'm the CEO of my body. It's the most important role I have. I can't raise my children, right, unless I become the CEO that's kind of not a
leading
badass,
by example.
I have to be an example.
Yeah.
I have to. And, again, it's not about what one doctor or one politician thinks for me. It's about humanity. And I think I have to speak the truth. So for Lyme disease, I don't believe it's ever 100% gone is the answer. I do know some people would disagree with me, just like I think some people don't understand that it's sexually transmitted. But let me just say this. COVID, if you tell me it's not sexually transmitted, well, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, but you can't be you're supposed to be 6 weeks, 6 feet away. Like, let's just kind of, whatever word you want to use, right? It's communicating. It's communicating.
So have you done the research on people with Lyme and the kind of the next phases that took place? Because what you just said goes to the brain. I had a brain tumor. It creates cancer. I got pancreas cancer. It causes autoimmune. I had Hashimoto's and a million other autoimmune issues. So are there people like us? Is there any research?
I need to do a research project on that. I've been trying We Grew So Fast was one of our companies that I am producing patents, white papers, literature reviews, case studies, patient registries, but it's one of the areas because of my life that I really want to research. It's such a controversial topic that my answer to that is there is some research, but not to the extent that it should be. They're not looking at what happens 20 years later. If you think about it, we're two of the first cases.
Yeah.
So no one's tracked really, did it cause a secondary? We know, for example, if you have psoriasis or rheumatoid arthritis, it's probably a secondary disorder. I believe Lyme's disease is the same way. I think it produces something else later. And I've written things about it. I can send you, but I need to do a head-to-head research study. It's just hard because you have to draw the direct and indirect statistical correlation to that. And a lot of functional integrative med doctors are more of an expert in that really than traditional doctors. Your infectious disease doctors understand it, but I think the approach in school is more medical and not research scientific based. So you really need a research scientist to conduct that trial with other medical doctors.
Wow. That's so, I'm like sitting here just so blown away that we both were
I am
first
too,
cases
actually.
and
Yeah.
that this is where our health has taken us. Did you get autoimmune issues?
They diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis,
Okay.
which if you ask me if I have it, no. But again, I'm continuously taking care of my body. Do you know what I mean? Like when I've gotten cancer.
To me, it's like whack-a-mole.
I'm just like constantly, I know. Like that's when people ask me, have I had cancer? I'm like, I still have cancer. Like I'm dealing with squamous cell right now. Does it stop me from traveling or working? No. I'm taking the natural approach, but do I mind doing 30 rounds of radiation, which they want me to do? Yes, I do, but if I have to, I will. Does that make sense?
Agreed.
I don't want to because it
I've
makes
put
my
off
skin
stuff
look bad.
too,
Yeah.
where I'm like, yeah, no, we're going to try the natural way. We're
Yeah.
going to try.
Yeah.
I think you might have been put in my path right now for another reason.
Yeah.
But I think you have to, I mean, listen, for me, I'm my own researcher. I'm not as smart as you or as probably good as you at this, but I kind of like the every girl researcher where I'm just going to hustle and try to figure something out. I'm going to try all the things I can because I'm also very curious to see what's possible. And I've healed myself from so many things that they say you can't, but then I have. And so it's like, okay, well, we put people on the moon. They thought that was crazy. But so why can't we believe in our healing? Why is healing so impossible? And then why are we so committed to the lack of possibility?
I don't know. And why are we committed to someone telling us what's going to happen to our body?
Yeah.
Like, why are we listening to someone else? Even me, like I tell people this, research it on your own, come back, let's talk, let's ask questions. Because I learn things from people all the time that are, and I got to say this, mothers, like one of my closest friends, her name's Mimi Pullman. She's actually Greek and she's had a lot of health issues. And we talk all the time. People need to understand this. You can be the expert of your body. Mm-hmm. And then when someone says you have to take something that you know is toxic, I would think about it before you do it because you have to take care of what's going on in your own mind. You've got this gut instinct, especially not to single out women, but we have discernment, right? Mm-hmm. So you've really got to follow down the path and you have to be open to the path. If I, as a scientist, if I'm not open to what you're saying and I think I'm smarter, then I just lost the game. Yeah. If a doctor is not open to hearing what you say and they tell you what treatment you have to have and they don't give you options, my thought is it's the wrong doctor because they've got to be open to your body because your DNA, we share the same, but we're each different. Mm-hmm. And I think each person has the key. They just have to their body. They just have to spend time researching it and listening, not just to an expert, but to what they actually think should happen with their body.
So if someone's listening to this that has been diagnosed with Lyme, whether it's recent or old, what's your best advice?
So I still believe one of the best things to do is to detox. I think that using, there's a product that I love and I don't want to push the products that I've worked on because I've worked on for so many different companies behind the scenes. I've worked on things as well because I do manufacturing. So I do think like there's a product called Clean Slate that really helps detox things out of the body that we have case studies on. And there's other products out there that have to do with zeolites or benzenites. Vitamin C is another huge hitter for me. Vitamin D3, zinc, spirulina, which I'd love to talk to you about that later. And the grains that will grab a hold of it and help take it out of the body are extremely important. And then it's interesting, I've seen antibiotics and antifungals really get it in control. and then you can do a natural approach, but it's not a protocol most doctors use. I only know that because I was working at one of the pharmaceutical companies. I had signed an NDA, and we worked on a Lyme disease project, but then we did not push it out.
Because
I don't always know the reasons why things aren't pushed out.
But it worked?
It worked.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
How exciting.
So that's something I have that's something I've followed since I have been 29. So when I feel like my body, I'll give you an example. I think viruses activate Lyme disease or another autoimmune if you've had it, or cancer. So I was exposed to something about a week ago, and I felt like my body was on fire, like I did when they diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. So I started the protocol. That's just my own protocol that I don't really talk about, but it's to try to basically get everything out of the body quickly, and then supporting it with natural ingredients at the same time.
So you mentioned you have products that you made for your kids to detox. What are those?
So Clean Slate, Restore, and Zero In, and Relive Greens were the products that I really focused on to detox and supplement. Because here's the thing, when you talk about detoxing, if you don't really think about a cell that's full of smoke or a fire, right? And you clean it. You want to clean it. Like if there's a fire around you, not just, you're in LA, you're being exposed to all of that. And so is everyone, whether we want to think about it or not. And I don't want people to panic. It's okay. You've got to detox that out. But once that cell is clean, you want to support it so that healthy cell communicates with everything else around it. Oh my gosh, we're in power now, right? We are in control, and you got to get rid of the bad cells. And so it's a continuous process for me. Clean Slate is a part of my kids' daily routine. They take 10 drops in water in the morning and 10 drops at night. Zero In was a product I worked on because of all the toxins. Let me go back to Lyme disease. When you have Lyme disease and spiral sheets, your neurotransmitters do not communicate the same way. Your microbiome changes in the body, in the stomach, in the heart, in the brain, throughout the body. So what you've got to do is support it to get the serotonin and dopamine up, and so that you're happy, you're healthy, you're communicating right, you're thinking cognitively okay. My kids take that product every day because in my mind, I had Lyme disease. I had my children, and I'm continuously trying to help them as well. And then Relive Greens is my staple. Everyone knows that about me because the greens, because of what I've gone through. It's a pre and probiotic, but it's chocked full of 21 different formulations that I tested for GMOs. I tested the parent plants for GMOs. When I work on things, they're kosher, halal, non-GMO, organic, but I take extra steps because for me, I don't have to work. I want to work. This is a mission for me. And if I'm going to make something, it better make a change, or why am I taking my time to do it? So I'm really, really careful.
Well, also you don't want to take anything that's going to make you worse.
Not for me.
Hey, Heal Squad. We have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.